Animation can suck my Brobo balls. It is tedious, time-consuming, and really fucking difficult. But what you need to understand is that it's like really fun. I think the thing that really draws me to animation is just the sheer freedom that it gives you. You can make literally anything with animation, even if it's some hellfuck nightmare that no sane person would ever dream up. Animation is such a broad term. Like, look at this PNG of Donkey Kong that I found. And that right there was animation. Now, was it good animation? Well, as unlikely as it may sound, the answer is actually no. The subject of whether an animation is good or bad is usually very simple when it comes to quality. When I'm watching an animation done by Felix Colgrave, I'm thinking, yep, okay, yeah, no, he's cheating, he's using Game Shark. And when I see the monkey cryptocurrency show, I get the uncontrollable urge to look around my room for the most suitable item in which to take my own life with.
I'll make it work.
Where this all gets muddled up though is when you take into account an animator's style, because subjectivity takes center stage. A great example of this is PilotRedSky. Yes, he did make the Garfield video, but he also happens to be my favorite musician and animator. Now tell me what you see when you look at this gif of a cockroach running away from a fly swatter. I'm willing to bet that beauty isn't the first word that comes to mind when looking at it. But the beauty of this gif doesn't come from the animation itself. What makes it special is the intention behind it. The jiggly, deformed-looking animation of the legs, the weird, distorted perspective of the checkered floor, the fact that the body of the cockroach stays still with the camera, the fact that the cockroach is missing a leg, the fact that the whole thing looks like it was made in MS Paint. These are all imperfections, but you can tell that they were entirely intentional. The dead giveaway here is the faded VHS look, but if you look close enough, you can find some more subtle ones. For the checkered floor, PilotRedSky could have just applied a motion graph to it and called it a day, but no, he went frame by frame to make it look fucking weird. Now, I can understand why someone wouldn't like this style, but me personally, I eat this shit up. I love it. And animators from all over the internet share that same opinion with me. Just look at this clip from that one Gumball parody video.
When I had raw footage of you plunging him into the dark dimension because he ate your cereal!
Greetings from Bangladesh.
I hate Xmas.
While we're on the subject of style, another cool thing I like about animation is that no two animators animate the same. Everyone has their own different style. Even if you're like me and pretty much blatantly copy someone else's format, you're still gonna see differences between the two animators. Let's compare these two videos, Brombo's Miranda video and my Piss video. Brombo did his animation in Flipnote on a Nintendo DSi, whereas I emulated the Flipnote style using Premiere Pro and Photoshop. If you compare a frame from each animation with each other, there aren't really any obvious differences in the style. But when you play the two animations,
Looks like I caught you!
The difference becomes clear. Brombo's animation is just smoother, cleaner, and generally a lot better. Now this could be because he has a lot more experience animating than I do, but at the same time, he had a tool that I didn't. Onion skinning. For the uninitiated, onion skinning lets you see the previous frame that you drew, and Flipnote comes with this feature built in. Now, when I was animating my video, I drew every single frame in Photoshop, which, as you should know, is not an animation program. If I wanted to onion skin, I would have had to import each of my previous frames and set it to a lower opacity for each fucking one, and I was just not about to do that. That being said, this ended up with the motion of my animation looking questionable. So after that mess, I wanted to prove to myself that I could create convincing motion frame by frame, and I think I did pretty good. But as you've probably noticed, all of the drawings that I make for my animations are just not very detailed and kind of simple. That's because, surprise surprise, I can't fucking draw! Which in the world of animation is actually severely limiting. Just take a look at this shit. Like, what? What? How do you do that? How do you do that? Kita, how do you do that?
How do I do what?
Cyriak Harris, my second favorite animator. Sorry again, Brobo, shouldn't have stolen my video. This guy has been around since the dawn of the internet, and is what I would consider a pioneer of internet animation. Even before he made classics like Ba, 7 Billion, Moo HD.
This is the most HD shit ever!
And that one other cow video, he was making GIFs and posting them on the internet for everyone to see. The most remarkable thing about his animations is that in most cases, he doesn't use any drawings.
I used to do a lot of drawing before I did animation, but then I found that if you use a photograph, you don't have to draw the thing, so it's just a lot quicker that way.
Instead, he takes pictures and videos of real-life places that he's been to.
And I passed a cow in a field. I looked at her and they looked back at me and I just thought, "Peace. You are so stupid, aren't you?" And I just had to take a video.
Now, what he does here is actually relatively simple. He's just cutting out things and putting them in weird places and making them move.
Well, what I do with my animation is I take video footage and photographs and manipulate them in the computer using After Effects. It's kind of a continuation of the cutout animation style, where people used to actually physically cut out photographs and move them around. People like Terry Gilliam used to do that.
But what makes his animations impressive is just the sheer amount of assets the guy works with. 7 billion is a perfect example of this. It's no exaggeration. There are 7 billion rabbits individually rendered in this shot. It took Cyriak so fucking long to render that final shot, but in the end, at least for him, it was probably worth it. He fucked around to see whether this was all possible and ended up with a very successful video, and a good one at that. Alright, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. There's a bunch of stuff I still haven't covered. Maybe I'll cover that in a part 2 at some point. I also want to take a moment to thank some people in a certain Discord server. You know who you are. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't have gotten into animation like I have during the past couple months.
Thank you and bye-bye!